Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, we all know what the US ambassador to Kenya, Mega Whitman, said in the Devolution conference that is taking place at Uasin Gishu County. She touched on the issue to do with the economy, but then she mixed in politics to do with the election, then the democracy. After that, Raila Odinga responded. Because he had already said that Kenya has one of the one of the best democracy in Africa. She said that Kenya had one of the freest election. She also said that Kenya had or has one of the most fairest election in Africa. Raila went on to tell her off, and he referred to her as the rogue ambassador. And this is what Raila Odinga said, I quote him: "The rogue ambassador must be told that Kenya is not a colony of US. She must respect Kenyans or keep her mouth shut." So the issue was rogue ambassador and keep her mouth shut. That was Raila Odinga. Then from there, Ruto made a phone call to the Kenya Kwanza governors. It was an emergency call to tell them to respond to the speech from Raila Odinga. Now, when the Kenya Kwanza governors called for a press conference, now to respond to Raila Odinga's speech, these people failed completely, and I will tell you how. Because they talked about, in response to the US ambassador, according to them, she was right. Number two, they responded to the issue of national government collaborating with the county government in terms of distribution of fertilizer. But first of all, I want to listen to Susan Kihika. Then from here, we are going to dig deeper into the response to Raila Odinga to see if indeed their response was worthy or it flopped.
I'm sure he would not have used the words he used this afternoon. It's actually quite unfortunate to hear a man at such level talk about an ambassador and tell an ambassador to shut up. Perhaps it's time for me to tell Mr. Odinga to shut up. Because if he had really heard what she presented, he would have seen that she is the best actually ambassador, not for the US to Kenya, but like a Kenyan ambassador. She represents and talks about Kenya in a more positive and patriotic way than most Kenyans that I know. So it is quite surprising, it is quite unfortunate, and for a leader that we respect, we also expect you to respect others. As far as the national government and county governments, it is a time in history, 10 years later, when we have such good collaboration between the national and county governments. So when a leader is trying to incite against the national government helping in distribution of fertilizer and bringing it down to 2,500, then you wonder, does this leader really mean well for Kenya? So from the speech, from everything we have seen today, it does not seem as though he means well for Kenya. And going forward, I would hope that he takes a break and looks at himself and listens to himself a bit and puts Kenya above himself, because Kenya is bigger than Mr. Raila Odinga.
Now, as we continue with this panel discussion, just a quick request for those who are watching and you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our return subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to this discussion. Now, the US ambassador was right to talk about the issue of economy. She was right maybe to some extent to talk about the issue of democracy. But when she started talking about election and referring to that election as the freest and fairest, then in that direction she had started now going into the internal matters in this country. As an ambassador, it is better you avoid the internal issues of the country to the people, but you deal with other issues. But we are seeing ambassador who is going deeper into our politics. So once you start talking about our politics and you go deeper into that direction, then it means people should start responding to you. You deserve a response, because now it becomes a subject of discussion. So once he mingled around the election and the freeness and trying to legitimize William Ruto presidency in that direction, we know very well Azimio has a contest. Their contest is very simple. They believe that this election was not free and fair. So trying to preempt it, it wasn't making sense. Open the server. So Susan Kihika, in her response, I don't see the point that she's trying to bring out very clear on this one. She should be telling Kenyans, why was the US ambassador involving herself into the internal matters concerning Kenya? Raila was right, the ambassador was wrong. And even those who are trying to respond to Raila Odinga, they are not bringing out the real issue to tell Kenyans why Raila Odinga is wrong and the US ambassador was right. So they have literally completely failed to punch holes into Raila Odinga's response to the US ambassador. They have flopped. They can't tell Kenyans the reason why. You talk about the issue of economy, there's no problem, and Raila did not argue to that one, but Raila mentioned on the issue of internal matter, that means our politics. So on that level, Susan Kihika completely failed William Samoei Ruto. Once you decided to politic, you deserve to be treated as a politician. As once you have been treated as such, then prepare to meet head-on politicians in their response. So US ambassador forgot that she's just an ambassador. She now turned herself into a politician, and therefore she has to face politics head-on. Number two, these governors went to an extent of trying to preempt Raila Odinga's speech as far as criticizing the issue of national government pretending to be working closely with the county government. The collaboration between national government and the county government. The response from Susan Kihika is one of the sad response that we should have never had in this country. In one hand, we have a man who is fighting for devolution, and we have a whole governor from the fourth city. Nakuru is a city now, coming out to defend the people who are frustrating devolution. Susan Kihika is one of the worst governors ever, and she should not be a governor as long as she is against Raila Odinga's statement on the issue of issuing fertilizer to the farmers. We will know very well that agriculture is 90% devolved function. Hii ni kazi ya magavana. But the question was, why was the national government mingling around the counties trying to distribute fertilizer when it was very clear that they were just supposed to hand over this fertilizer to governors? Then from governors, they have their own network and offices. Paka tuko na ward administrator mwenye anafanya kazi kama tu, tuseme karibu kama tu sub chief. Wako na hizo line zote za kufikisha mbolea paka kwa kijiji. Hata wengine wako paka na village administrator. Kwa nini tunaona Malala ndiye anabeba mbolea, anakuja nayo Vihiga, anaenda nayo Kakamega, anaenda nayo Kisii? Who is Malala? Why are we seeing Owalo? Why are we seeing the CS for Agriculture, Mithika Linturi, walking around with fertilizer and taking photos as if this function is a national function in mambo ya county government? So governors should be empowered, and it is governors who know their own people properly on the ground, because then they are the one doing governance here on the village level. Susan Kihika anasema Raila alikuwa wrong na Ruto kutumia ma-CS na wakina nani Malala, it was right. Is she serious? This case should be treated as mtu tu ambaye ako na ulemavu wa mawazo. Ama I think Susan Kika, she made a wrong decision to go for governorship. She should have gone silent on this issue. Instead of supporting devolution, and when someone comes out with a statement that is supporting devolution, you come and just preempt it. How? Then you should not be a governor. It was a huge mistake for the people of Nakuru to make Susan Kihika a governor. So imagine how Ruto is driving these governors. Akiwaambia hata semeni hii wanasema tu, hata kama ni mbaya wanasema. Governor, in this country we needed to have governors like Isaac Ruto, ule wa Bomet, who could face the government head on in as much he was in the government side. Watu kama akina Oparanya, who can tell, you can't tell Governor Oparanya to come out with such a speech, then he proceeded to do so. So I am seeing total fail in attempt to respond to Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga had one of the best speech ever, and this is the reason why these governors were called to go and preempt the speech from Raila Odinga, which has failed. If Raila Odinga did not have that much strong speech, there was no one who would be bothered to go and respond and attempt to preempt that speech. And for the information, if they don't know, trying to preempt Raila Amolo Odinga's speech, you look stupid and awkward and useless. Someone should tell Susan Kihika in this statement she looks stupid, awkward, and useless. She has gone too low. That was one of the best speech ever. Supporting devolution, standing with the democracy, and standing with governors. Not that sick statement these people are bringing out. So that's William Ruto for you. And there is panic all over that Raila indeed had the best speech, which received a standing ovation. No one has got in this devolution conference a standing ovation like what Raila Amolo Odinga received yesterday. It was amazing, very super amazing. And that is what is making these people uncomfortable and panicked. This is now the response, which is now backfiring badly.